Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOURFRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Sit down because what I'm about to share with you could be one of the most significant developments in the NFC East this offseason, and it's all revolving around a name that's been making waves in the NFL, Trey Hendrickson. Yes, that's right. The same Trey Hendrickson who just finished an incredible season with the Cincinnati Bengals, leading the league in sacks, and who's been one of the most disruptive edge rushers in the league over the past couple of seasons. And the big news? His future with Cincinnati is now in question, and that could mean a major shakeup for the division, especially for the Washington Commanders, who are always looking to bolster their roster and make that next leap toward playoff contention. Let's rewind a little and give you some background. Hendrickson, coming out of Tulane, wasn't initially seen as a top-tier pass rusher, but he's grown into one of the league's most feared edge defenders. Over the last 2 seasons, he's demonstrated consistency, explosiveness, and an uncanny ability to get to the quarterback. Last year, he racked up 5 sacks, which was second only to the league leader, and his pass rush win rate was among the best at his position. That's not just numbers, that's dominance on the field game after game. His performance has put him squarely in the conversation of the league's elite pass rushers, and he's still only in his prime at 29 years old. But here's the catch: Hendrickson's current contract situation is complicated. He's got 1 year left on his deal, worth around $28 million, which is a steal considering his production and market value. The problem is the Bengals, who are clearly contenders, want to keep him long-term, but negotiations haven't gone smoothly. Reports suggest Cincinnati is eager to lock him down, but they're also cautious about the salary cap and the overall structure of their roster. At the same time, Hendrickson's comments lately indicate he might be willing to hold out if he doesn't get the deal he believes he deserves. And that's where things get interesting for us at Washington. Now, the Bengals are a team that's built to compete for a Super Bowl, and losing Hendrickson could be a big blow to their defensive front. But if they're not willing to pay market value, they might be forced into a tough decision. Do they keep him and risk losing him for nothing next year, or do they trade him now and recoup some assets? And this is where the rumors and speculations come in. Recently, ESPN insiders floated multiple trade scenarios, and one of the most talked about involves the Washington Commanders. Imagine this: the Bengals send Hendrickson to Washington in exchange for Jerjan Newton, a promising young defensive tackle, plus a couple of draft picks, a 2026 third-rounder and a 2027 seventh-rounder. Let's analyze this potential deal because it's not just about the names involved, it's about the strategic fit for both teams. For Washington, who is in win-now mode, adding a player like Hendrickson would be a massive boost. Last season, the Commanders' pass rush was decent, but they lacked that consistent, game-changing presence at the edge. Dorrance Armstrong, their top edge rusher, has shown flashes, but Hendrickson's ability to generate pressure and disrupt passing lanes could elevate that entire unit. He's someone who commands double teams and opens up opportunities for others on the line. His 24% pass rush win rate last season was among the best at his position, and adding that kind of talent to a defense already anchored by veterans like Darren Payne and Javon Kinlaw could be exactly what the team needs to take a significant step forward. On the other side, for Cincinnati, dealing Hendrickson would mean losing a key piece of their front seven. However, they might see Newton as an immediate help. Newton, drafted in 2024, has shown promise as a versatile interior defender. Losing him in the trade might hurt their depth on the defensive line, but it could be a strategic move to get a proven veteran who can help them contend right away. The Bengals are looking to maximize their window, especially with Joe Burrow's prime years ahead, and having a player like Hendrickson who can consistently pressure the quarterback is invaluable. Of course, this raises some important questions for us fans. Would Washington be willing to trade one of its promising young defensive tackles for an elite pass rusher? Newton, being a second-round pick in 2024, is still very much an up-and-comer, and losing him might be a tough pill to swallow. But the reality is, with Washington's draft capital limited in recent years, especially in 2026, losing more picks is not ideal. Still, if the price is right, this could be a short-term boost that helps the team make a playoff push and possibly compete for a deep postseason run. And let me tell you, the potential impact of adding Hendrickson to Washington's defense isn't just about individual stats. It's about the chemistry, the scheme fit, and the morale. A player of his caliber can elevate all the others around him. It can also change the way offenses game plan against Washington, freeing up more opportunities for the linebackers and secondary to make plays. The NFC East is always a tough division, filled with teams that have explosive offenses and talented defenses, And having a reliable, game-wrecking pass rusher like Hendrickson could be a difference maker in close games, especially in those critical late-game situations. But it's not just about the on-field performance. The business side of things always looms large. The Bengals need to decide quickly, are they willing to pay Hendrickson what he's worth, or do they prioritize capital and flexibility for future seasons? For Washington, the question is whether they see this as a short-term fix or part of a longer-term strategy. Do they believe that adding Hendrickson now can push them into the playoffs and beyond, or are they wary of giving up too much draft capital and young talent for a one-season boost? And here's the thing, the NFL offseason is a roller coaster. Deals like these can happen fast, and sometimes the rumor mill heats up just enough to spark a flurry of activity. For Washington fans, this could be a game changer, a move that signals the team's serious intentions to compete at the highest level. It also shows how aggressive the front office is willing to be to make that leap. Now, the question that's on everyone's mind, will this trade actually happen? Well, it's still early and there are a lot of variables. But what's clear is that Hendrickson's situation with the Bengals is a microcosm of what's happening across the league, players pushing for fair market value, teams weighing their options, and the possibility of blockbuster trades that can reshape divisions and playoff races. The NFC East in particular is in a state of flux, and Washington's front office has to be ready to pounce if the right opportunity comes along. And I want to emphasize, folks, this is not just about one player or one trade. It's about the bigger picture, the team's strategy, the roster construction, and how the Commanders can build a defense that's capable of making a real run. If they manage to pull off a deal like this, it could be the catalyst that propels them into the postseason and beyond. Imagine a front seven with Montez Sweat, Chase Young, and Trey Hendrickson all rushing the passer. That's a nightmare for quarterbacks, and that's the kind of defense that can carry a team deep into the playoffs. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what about the draft picks? Well, yes, giving up future picks isn't ideal, but sometimes you have to make bold moves to stay competitive. The NFL is a league of immediate impact, and the Commanders are clearly aiming to capitalize on the window of opportunity they have right now. They've got a solid core, talented skill players, and a rising defense. Adding a proven pass rusher like Hendrickson could be the final piece to unlock their full potential. And let's not forget the motivation behind this. Washington has been in the playoff hunt the last couple of seasons, but just couldn't get over the hump. Improving the pass rush has been a priority for the team's coaching staff, and if they see Hendrickson as the missing puzzle piece, it makes perfect sense for them to push hard for a deal. Plus, with the NFC East always competitive, whether it's the Eagles, Cowboys, or Giants, every upgrade counts, and Hendrickson's addition could be that game changer. As we look ahead to the upcoming season, it's essential to consider the strategic implications of this potential move. The Commanders could be looking to make a statement early, showing the league that they're serious about competing at the highest level. And if they succeed in bringing Hendrickson on board, it wouldn't just be a win for this season, but a signal to the rest of the division that the Commanders are here to stay, here to contend, and here to push for a deep playoff run. So in conclusion, folks, this story isn't just about a player and a trade rumor. It's about the future of the Washington Commanders, their ambitions, and how a single move can ripple through the NFL landscape. Hendrickson's situation with Cincinnati could be the spark that ignites a new chapter for Washington. And whether it happens now or later, one thing is for sure, the Commanders are keeping us on the edge of our seats, and we'll be watching closely to see how this story unfolds. Make sure you stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, because we'll be here with all the latest updates, deep dives, and analysis. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Hendrickson would be the perfect addition to our defense? Drop your thoughts below, because your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. Thanks for joining us, and I'll be back soon with more exciting news and insights about the Washington Commanders. Stay safe, stay passionate, and let's keep pushing for that Super Bowl.